Yeah, hi, welcome back. Welcome back to Learn We Earn courses. So, like in this embedded C programming course in module 2, we will be seeing how we'll be installing the compiler for the Windows machine. Okay, so in the last video, we have seen how we are installing STM32Cube ID. Okay, so I told already that ID we are using for programming the target board and even the host machine. Okay, so that ID is dedicated to program the target board, which is our like ARM Cortex microcontroller. So in our case, it is STM32 Nucleo board. Okay, so for target board, that means the settings or the ID is already developed or evolved for writing the program for the target board either in C or C++. Okay, so now just maybe before getting started into embedded C, I would like to revise some basic concepts in C programming, which is very like important, like the concept like arrays, pointers, functions, and all. If somebody is still having any confusion, so we will try to clarify that. But what I am trying to use, we will be using the same cube ID, STM32 cube ID, even to program the host machine. Yeah, so I was telling that if you want to program the host machine using this cube ID, we have to add few more things. That means by default, you will be having a compiler. Okay, so this compiler will be expecting like we are writing embedded C or C++ program for the target board. Okay, so but here in our case, like host machine is like x86, okay, host machine. For that, we will be using we will be installing a separate compiler. Okay, so like maybe you are using the operating system as Windows, Linux or Mac, whatever it is. So here, like in this experiment or maybe in this lesson, I am going to use a Windows system. Like maybe most of the beginners are still using Windows system. Okay. So if you are using Windows operating system, you need to install a separate compiler. That's it. Okay. So this separate compiler, how you'll be installing, what is the process? Okay. So that I'll explain quickly in this session. So now let's get started. So I'll please do one thing. So please check all the maybe this configurations, whatever I am doing. Okay. Yeah, everybody please see this process very carefully. Okay, how we are installing for Windows system. Okay, again I am repeating. I am installing the compiler for Windows system, Windows operating system. The compiler, GCC compiler is WinGW. Okay, so we'll be installing WinGW. Maybe somebody already done that for some any other compilers and all. So then it's well and good. If you don't have WinGW, so today I'll be explaining the process how we'll be installing WinGW. Okay. So how we will be using this GCC compiler, which is dedicated for Windows. Okay, using this compiler in the same cube ID, we will be writing the program even for the host machine, and we will be able to compile it. Okay, so it's very short. Okay, so the process is very short, and now let's move on to that. Okay, let's see how we will be downloading this WinGW and how can we install it, right? So here we will be able to see MinGW is for Windows system. Okay, if you are using the Linux operating system, you don't want to use MinGW. You can use you can write some comments. Okay, in the terminal, you just want to run certain comments. So that's enough. That process will be more easier than this. Okay. Yeah, now let's see why we need GCC. What is GCC? Okay, GCC is GNU Compiler Collection. Okay, maybe you heard about the term GCC. Maybe most of you are even not aware what's the full form of it. So it's very simple, GNU Compiler Collection. So it's a compiler. As I told already, like most of the modern IDs and all, so they will be already having compilers, debuggers, everything okay inbuilt. We don't want to install anything separately. Maybe in the older days, if you're having any IDs and all, we used to like do all this installation separately, and that itself was a tedious process. Now it's not required. But the problem is here, I told already, this cube ID dedicated for the microcontroller. So it is already there. The compiler for the ARM Cortex controller, it's already there. Okay, for ARM controller. We are actually installing this GCC. So GCC compiler called WinGW. Okay, so that is for like especially for Windows. Okay, and that is a freely distributable import libraries. Okay, header files for building native Windows applications. So that's a usage, and let's get into the process right now. Okay, so first we will be installing WinGW. Then after that we will be installing one more thing, MySys2. Okay, so MySys2 is a software distribution and building platform for Windows. So basically MySys2 is a collection of tools and libraries. Okay, so that will be providing an easy to use environment for building, installing, running. Okay, so what we are going to do in conclusion, we will be installing WinGW and also MySys2. Together we are going to install both. Okay, So then after that, we'll be able to write like the program for the host machine even in the cube ID itself. And the reason why we are doing that even for the host machine, I am advising you to use the same ID, so you'll be more familiar with that IDs instead of using some online compilers or something. So I thought this will be more connected to the like embedded environment. So let's use the same ID. Okay. So yeah, so now I am just sharing how like the link. Okay, I will add it in the description for from where we can like download it, or you can just search online MinGW 64-bit. Okay, so MinGW W64 that we are going to download it right now. Okay, so let me go to my browser and I'll show you how I'm going to download and install on the process. Okay. Yeah, so in my browser, I was just searching for MinGW W64. Okay, so .org. So either from the official website or you can scroll down. So you'll be able to see this source like sourceforge.net. Okay, so from sourceforge.net, I'm just like opening that. Okay, so that website. So here you will be able to see the option. You can see download option here. And here you can click on files. Okay, so just don't download. Okay, so we are actually about to download the updated version. So don't download the immediate option. Just click on files. Okay. So once I clicked on files, I can scroll down. I'll be able to see the updated versions. So you can see here MinGW W64 GCC 8.10. So that's the updated version. I'm using 64-bit machine. I think most of the better system, better laptops, though that will be based on like that will be 64-bit system. Or even if you are using 32-bit system, you can use this down options and all. Okay. Since I am using a 64-bit machine, if you are using 64-bit machine, like we can click on this option. Okay. So this option I am just clicking the second option. Then you will be able to see that. Okay, so the download automatically will start shortly. So you are going to see it's getting downloaded. Okay, I already downloaded this. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel this and I'll show you once it's already there in my downloads. Okay, so you can, it's a zip file, you can unzip that, you can extract everything. Okay, so when you are extracting, it's better to extract that to the C drive itself. Then we don't want to like run it separately. This application we don't want to run separately. Now I'll show that. Okay, so what I told already, you have to go for this sourceforge.net website. Okay, so from there you are clicking on files and then files you will be able to see the latest version of MinGW. Try to install that. Don't download this one so that it can means there can be some problems. All right, so this is what we have done. So now let me show you. I'm having this folder in my downloads. Okay, which is already downloaded. Yeah, so here look at my download. So you can see this file like I already downloaded. So you can just right click on it. Okay, then try to open that. Okay, so you can click on open. All right, so you can see here this is already I have extracted. So if you want, you can click on extract to. So you can directly give the C drive path here. Okay, so I don't want to extract to any particular folder. So you can extract and directly write C. Okay, C drive. So that you can do, right? So I'll please do that. I'm not doing that. I already installed MinGW in the system. Okay. So that's the process. Then just select the C drive and click OK. If you don't have any restriction, just do like this. Similarly, I was searching for the like other tool set, MySys2. Okay, MySys2 download. So I'm just opening this website, like mysys2.org. So here I'll be able to see the option from where I can download. Yeah. So if you are scrolling down, you are able to see this installation, download the installer. You can click on this. Okay, so it will get download. Okay. So yeah, so I am already having this, so I'm not downloading this anymore. Okay, so that I have been downloaded right now. Yeah, so these are the two things we will be downloading, and that application directly you can run. Okay, so directly you will be able to run it. I'll show that like that is also there in my downloads. You can see this I already installed it. Okay, so this exe file you can download, and as usual how you will do. Okay, so you will be getting this wizard setup wizard. Just click on next. Okay, so where you want to install it, so directly right in C drive we'll be having a folder called MySys64. Okay, so make sure that as of now, as per the procedure which I did, I'm having two folders in C drive. So one is this MySys64 and one will be the MinGW, which I extracted already. I haven't run any application, but by default it's there in the C drive. Okay, so these two things you have to do. I already done that, so I'm not using. Or else just click next. It will automatically will get installed, and you'll be able to see both files in the C drive. Okay. So now let me open my C drive. Yeah, so far I just opened my C drive. So you can see, as I told, I'm having two folders. One is my 664, by default it came. Okay, so here you can see MinGW64. So one thing I have to note it down. So these two things, maybe the two folders. Okay, the path I have to add it in environment variables. Okay, or else even as of now, since it's a Windows system, like at this stage, okay, you just downloaded these two things, MySys2 and MinGW. Then just open your command prompt. Okay, so just type for GCC. Okay, GCC. I'll be getting, as I told already, I installed, so I'll be getting. So if you haven't done the the further process which I am about to discuss right now. So whenever you are typing GCC, you will be able to see not this error, you'll be able to get some different error. GCC is not recognized, or it's not a valid command. Okay, so something you are going to get it. Okay, all right. So now let me show you what I would like to do. Okay, so one more additional steps we have to do. So it's simple. We will be adding the path, okay, both okay MinGW and MySys2. So the path we will be adding to the system environment variables. Okay, so that path we are going to add. I'll show that procedure quickly. Yeah, so here you can see in my Windows 10 system, I was just searching for environment variables, which I am getting from the control panel, or directly you can search here. Okay, so here you will be able to see there is one option called path. Okay, I would like to click on path, and I'll be adding the path for both. Okay, so I already added here. Right, you can see here I added the path for MySys64 and MinGW. Okay, so if you want to add the path, it's very simple. We already clicked on path and we were able to open this. And here you can see, you can click on new. Okay, so you'll be able to see, you will be able to add the new path here. Okay, so right, so now let's see how we are able to get the new path. So again, we are going to the C drive. So let me keep it here itself. Yeah, so let me open the C drive. So you can see this is from C drive. I was just opening WinGW W64. So you can see this bin folder. Okay, so this path you have to copy. So just click on here on top. So you'll be able to see this path. Okay, so this path I can click Control C, and here again we'll be opening the environment variable, and there will be adding this. That's it. So the procedure is simple. So this path will be adding. And apart from that, we will be adding one more path. Okay. So here you can see like we have one more folder called My664. Okay. So here in My664, you have to come to user. There you will be able to get the bin folder. Okay. So just click on user. And so here you can see bin. Okay. So this path again, click here on top. So you'll be able to get this path. Okay. So these two paths just copy as it is, and just add like two separate paths. Okay. Just click on new and add it as two separate paths. Let me show you now. Yeah, so here I copied the path, and like you can see, I just clicked on new, and I'm just like doing Control V. So that path I will be able to add it here. Then click OK. So I already told you I'm having these two paths. Okay, so I'm not doing this process. So you have to install, you have to add these two paths. That's it. Then click OK. So now everything is ready. So if you want to check it, okay, so whether GCC is there, you can just open your command prompt in Windows. It's like the terminal in Linux. Okay. So I'm just opening the command prompt. So here you can see GCC, and then you can write hyphen version. Okay. So you'll be able to see the version of GCC compiler which you already installed, right? So yeah, so you'll be able to see MinGW, okay, MinGW W64, okay, 8.1.0. So that's a GCC compiler which you already installed right now. So the process is done successfully, right? So that's it. So now we are ready to write the program for the host machine. So maybe in the coming video, I'll be showing how we'll be writing our first program. Okay. So now all setup is ready. We already installed STM32 cube ID. That was a simple process. Okay, so once we installed the cube ID, I already told you that we have to create a workspace. So that's very simple. So in any drive, you just want to create a folder called STM32. So under the STM32, we are creating two subfolders. One folder name is host and one is target. Why? Because if you are writing program separately, right, for host and target machine, so let's keep it separately in different folders. Okay, so that was the idea. And yeah, that's it. Then if you are writing the program for host machine, we will keep that path, okay, the host folder path, and then we will launch. Okay, so the cube ID will be open. Okay, nothing more settings over there. It is simple, right? And then I told you, since we are writing the program for host machine, using the same ID. Okay, we don't want to use any IDs and all. So for that, I just told you that we will be installing if you are using the Windows system. Okay, so the procedure I already showed for Windows system. We will be installing a GCC compiler for Windows. I think now it's clear, right? Because in command prompt I was writing GCC then version. So you understood that WinGW 8.1.0. Okay, so that's the GCC compiler which you are using. I hope GCC compiler all clear, right? Why we need a compiler? Because if you are writing the program, okay, C program, C or C++, whatever it is, okay, so you should compile it, right? You should convert the source code to like executable. Okay, so .exe file, .c to .exe file. Okay, I'll show that. I'll anyway, like we will discuss the like a procedure, how like what's a complete C program, okay, how it is getting converted to executable, the whole process, so that we will be discussing separately. But I hope at least you people are clear what's the reason or why we need to use a compiler, right? So that process has been done. It's not only installing this WinGW and MySys2 tool. Okay, so we just want to add the path, okay, the proper path in the like system environment variable. Okay, so then only you will be able to see that has been done properly. Then verify that in the command prompt. Yeah, I hope all are able to do this process. If you are not very clear, please just go through the video once again. Okay, still if you are having confusion, you can ask us. Okay, maybe in the discussion you can ask whatever doubt you have. So we'll try to clarify that. And this two links anyway, I'm just adding it in the description. Okay, but you can search it online. You can always try to get the updated versions. Okay. All right, then thank you all. Let's meet in the next video, and we will try to write our first program using Cube STM32 Cube ID. Okay. Till then, bye bye.